It's a great day for hockey here in beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota. My name's Eric Zamora, and I'll have the call of the inaugural game of the 2018 show brought to you by Youth Hockey Hub. We've got North America taking on Rocky Mountain, and as we see it on the screen on Youth Hockey Hub, it will be North America skating from left to right in the gray jerseys, orange numerals, and black trim. From the right to left, it'll be Rocky Mountain in green with black numerals and a little bit of white trim. Draw is controlled by Rocky Mountain. Thomas Putnam centering the top line as he's got Jake McDonald and Dmitry Tubiensov on either side of him. Brady Smith and Gabriel Simpson, the starting defenseman, and tested early as a netminder as Bodiger has to play that over to the right side. Backing up, and now it'll be Rocky Mountain on the offensive zone. A play into the offensive zone, stick lift there, and actually losing the twig was Rocky Mountain's Dimitri. They'll set back up. Long pass ahead, trying to cut around and doing just that on Dunlap. Centering pass attempted to get through Mason West, and the winger is able to break up that play. It's Bischoff centering West and Elliott for the top line for North America. Heary and Dunlap, who now look like they've changed the starting defensive pairing for the North American squad. And it's Carter Nadon in between the pipes, and Nadon will have to look up as in with speed. Rocky Mountain tries a backhanded effort. Not sure if that was more of a pass or a shot. Either way, just trying to get the puck to the crease. Coming back in, firing one high, and it is up and over everybody. They'll try to break out, and North America looking to catch Rocky Mountain in a change. Done nicely. A nice stop there by the right pad, and then the goaltender. Sometimes you'll see netminders try to really move the puck away from them immediately, and they're going with the opposite style of keeping it within distance so that way he could cover and freeze it, but instead was able to just leave that for a defensive partner, and so Rocky Mountain gets it into the offensive zone. 12:55 left to go in period number one. We will play 3 15-minute periods, and stay with us as there is no resurfacing in between periods 1 and 2, just a 1-minute quick time out. So we certainly encourage those who are watching at home to maybe run to the kitchen for a quick snack or a bathroom break, but we don't want you to miss any of the action. It'll be between period 2 and 3 that we've got the break. 2-on-1 developing, and a nice stop by the netminder. The goalie stacking his pads that are bright and colorful, matching the numerals, I should say day glow orange. This is a centering pass attempted but broken up, as I believe that was Cohen Schmeichel trying to center that over. This will settle down for West, and West will look to break out. Sends it over to the left side and brought back in by North America. They'll get it below the goal line, and from there trying to find a way to get it up top to West, who is camped out just inside the right circle. Dunlap tries to make a D-to-D pass, and instead that's broken up. Schmeichel then giving chase, and will have to go off for a change. Poking it away, reaching in there was Logan Anderson. Anderson with a little bit of contact there on Bischoff. And heard an interesting story as we were checking in before the game. This Rocky Mountain squad had to make a last-minute jersey changes. That's one elevated up and over the crossbar. The jerseys apparently were sent to the hotel that they were staying at. Quick snapshot and steered wide by the blocker of the netminder. But the hotel didn't know that it was coming, so said this isn't for us, and they had to make a change on the fly, so to speak, as we again see Rocky Mountain making a change on the fly, this time trying to get the puck deep. It's Murphy getting tied up. They'll look to play it back, handled from there. Murphy lets one go, looking for a rebound in the slot. Was Tubensev. And so because of that, you've got the black numerals on green jerseys. A little bit tougher to see, but we will definitely try to help out as best we can. And a great show of sportsmanship there. Timentsev got tied up in the offensive zone despite the fact that all 8 other skaters were out besides he and a player from the opposite side. Initially, I saw him pick up his opponent's stick. I thought he was going to pull the old, I'm going to take this and move it away from my opponent. Actually handed it to him before heading off for a change. They'll cycle it back to the left point. And unable to identify that player. That's not due to the color difficulty. It's the old, the Breezers ended up getting the jersey tucked in. So as soon as that untucks, we'll try to point out which left defenseman it was that held it into the point, but looking on the backhand and trying to feed it ahead. And this is Rocky Mountain cycling. They'll trying to get it back over into the slot. Loose puck, and it was tapped at. Comes back out, and a save by the netminder. Got just enough out with the stick to get that elevated up and over. Then tries to use the paddle and pop that one out of midair. A lot of pressure here from Rocky Mountain, and now going the other way. North America clean at the line. It'll be cycled, thrown towards the net, sitting there for just a moment, and Rocky Mountain gets the big clearance. They'll get it up the line and not able to get much going from there. Eventually, it is swept away. Up next, we've got Great Plains taking on Great Lakes, and then USA taking on Team Minnesota. Those games will be starting at 7 and 8:45, respectively, Central Time. Played up to the red line, no further. Brought right back in by Rocky Mountain. Firing a shot and a quick save by the goalkeeper. And so Nadon will hold on out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, or excuse me, Ontario. And so we'll have a draw to the left of the netminder, glove side, and it's handled there. This will come over and settle down on the stick of Heary out of Kent, Washington. Plays for Kent Valley during the winter months. And won't be able to get past Schmeichel. Will be sent up the boards, backing up. I believe this is Smith looking to defend. Blockered away, punched at really by the goaltender as Pettigrew let that one go over. And I thought Schmeichel was going to take it. Instead, she starts to head up ice. Now coming in, potential 2-on-1. Feeds it over on the backhand. And hugging that post was Nadon. Make sure that doesn't get through. Nice strip there by North America. They're looking to break out. A little bit of contact there, and we will have that be whistled down. So it's going to be North America on the penalty kill as a check will be called with 7 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in period number 1. And Pettigrew is the first player of the tournament to head to the sin bin. On the man advantage now, the Rocky Mountain squad reaching in and having to make a strong play as North America was trying to get things going shorthanded. So 7:27 time in the goal, 7:33 was remaining in the period when it got underway. Trying to go upstairs and elevate on the shot, and a scrum ensues. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle as bodies start to pile up in the crease. 96 seconds to go on the man advantage. And again, we'll take a face-off to the left of the netminder. Draw controlled by Rocky Mountain. Thought that they were going to go back to the points. Instead, they will elect to cycle it deep. Held in from the half wall. Diving over to make sure that shot didn't get through. Fed up, but it's picked off, coming in shorthanded. Here comes the shorthanded bid, and that's just off the mark. Down to 65 seconds left in the man advantage. Send out front. Here's a shorthand opportunity. Cuts in, and a great save by the goaltender. Diving over to his right was Bodiger, and now an opportunity with numbers. Rocky Mountain comes across the line. They lose possession and will elect to make a change. Peary sends it up the left side. Second effort, still there. Rocky Mountain, man at the back door. I believe coming over there was Crawford, and we've got another penalty coming up. This will be tripping. So with 6 minutes and 7 seconds to go, we're going to have a 5-on-3 opportunity for 35 seconds. Rocky Mountain trying not only to get on the board here, but seeing if they can't do it early enough into this penalty so that if they strike in the next 35 seconds on the 5-on-3, then that would erase Pettigrew's penalty, not Heary's, and they'd stay on the man advantage. But first, they've got to capitalize. They'll cycle it and keep it to this near side, left side, cutting towards the net. Now out front, snapping a shot, and it's in! The goaltender thought he had that one, but it just got underneath the glove over the the right leg pad. And that, with 16 seconds left on Pettigrew's penalty. So North America strikes first on a 5-on-3 man advantage goal. And we've got ourselves our first goal of the 2018 installation of the show here in the Bloomington Ice Garden. .5:35 left to go in the period. They're throwing one towards the net, and it's kicked away. And with a minute, 10 seconds left on the man advantage, now just a 5-on-4. So the first goal of the tournament going to Trey Fredenberg out of Stillwater, Minnesota, was able to lift that one just up and over. One of the few not from the Colorado, Wyoming region of the country on this Rocky Mountain squad. The assist going to Carter Ganser, also a Minnesota resident out of nearby Rosemont, Minnesota, plays for the Rosemont Squirt AA squad. In with speed, trying to shake her opponent, Schmeichel. Comes right back, tangled up, and will be played. They'll circle around and cover up that defenseman pinching. 20 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Over for Schmeichel. Has options, elects to shoot, and the goalkeeper, a southpaw wearing the glove on the right side, blocker on the left, will hold on. And despite the fact that North America finds themselves down by a goal, I think they'd quite honestly at this point take the result that they had if they can kill off the next 10 seconds, as two back-to-back penalties and 35 seconds of 5-on-3 was actually what ended up resulting in the 1-0 lead. Lifted down the length of the ice. Well, not quite the length, but good enough for government work, as this will be picked off by Heary, who just comes out of the box and looks like he was headed over for a change, but finds some loose change there, sitting at the blue line and nearly capitalized. North America now backing up as it's Rocky Mountain, bringing it into the offensive zone. Schmeichel stays with it. Left-handed shot, stops on a dime, throws it out front. Had a player that was Sawyer Grobbins out of Boulder, Colorado, just unable to connect there. Head up, Rocky Mountain will make the change. A player takes a spill, and quickly jumping off is Christian Barron. Thrown towards the netminder, and while the goaltender, Bodiger, looked like was a little bit surprised at the shot coming in, able to make the stop and then cover up the loose puck. 3:19 to go, and we'll take the face-off to the right of Rocky Mountain's goalkeeper. Justin Waldridge, the Rocky Mountain coach, where North America is coached by Connor Clark and Kurt Harster. Feeding it over in a great tie up there. That would have been a tap-in goal were it not for Aiden Collins out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, who was able to come up with a big stop. That one squirts out to the left circle. Across the line, slamming on the brakes is Drew Caines. .235 to go in the period. Again, stay with us as we'll have just a short break. Glove save by the goaltender, who was not able to hold on to it cleanly. Fortunately, friendly faces and friendly jerseys coming to help out, as that was Sam Peckham. And we've got another penalty, and this time it's going to go against Rocky Mountain. Checking the call, and I feel like sometimes when you get these tournament teams that haven't seen each other, get a little bit aggressive, trying to be the big dog in the rink. And we will be playing on multiple surfaces, as here Bloomington Ice Garden has 3 sheets side by side. Also on Thursday, get some action over at Mariucci Arena, as this one's thrown upstairs and in. This goal is going to be that of Liam Heary. The defenseman wastes no time, just 6 seconds into the penalty, and the power play goal equalizes that Rocky Mountain had scored earlier. We'll call time of the goal, 12 minutes, 59 seconds. And Heary was in the box the first time a goal was scored. This time he capitalizes on a power play for their squad, and again a shot elevated. We'll see if this ends up being the strategy of Clark and North America, as they've found success once going upstairs, nearly another. That one, though, with a lot of traffic in front of it. Collins will pick it off and try to turn the corner. Brought in. Here's a potential 2-on-0. They'll send it over. Backhand effort and a nice kick save by the goaltender. Really, at that point, put the right pad down and waited for the puck to get to him. And I didn't think there was going to be another assist on that unless somebody had touched it real quick, but it was Bischoff winning the draw back to the left point, and Heary slid over to his left, found some open space, and then found daylight at the back of the net. 65 seconds left to go in the first period, as it was Fredenberg and Heary trading goals, power play goals for both sides. That has this one even at ones. Late in the period, Schmeichel throws it towards the net, looking for a deflection or possibly a rebound. Schmeichel keeps it in the zone from the left circle. Impossible angle and broken up. Reaching in, got a little bit of contact, but not enough to send Heary back to the box. Winding, driving, and scoring. And Rocky Mountain back on top. Logan Anderson, who plays for Team Alberta normally, strikes with just 30 seconds to spare in the opening frame. It's the first even strength goal that we've had of the game and tournament. And Anderson gives his squad the lead right back. It's 2-1, Rocky Mountain on top.
Scoring goal, Rocky Mountain, number 16, Logan Anderson.
From behind the net, throwing it out front. 'Play it over. 12 seconds to go in the contest. Fredenberg picks up his second point of the game, with Schmeichel actually picking up the primary assist on that one. Fredenberg the secondary, and the horn will sound, and we will go into our first abbreviated intermission, just 60 seconds. Should remind everyone of the format. As far as standings go, it's 3 points for a regulation win. No points for a regulation loss. And then both teams that get to overtime will pick up a point, but the overtime or shootout winner picks up the extra. So in essence, it's not like the NHL where your record can be unblemished if you keep picking up overtime victories. You're rewarded for getting it done in the regulation 45 minutes. So the top team in pool play will end up getting a quarterfinal bye. Seeds 2 through 7 will play the quarterfinals on Saturday morning. And as far as tiebreakers, should we need to get there, head-to-head competition is where we will settle things first. What that obviously means is if there's a 2-team tiebreaker, then that's all you'll need, is one of the teams in every matchup they see against each other will end up with a victory. But then if you go into multi-team tiebreakers, it goes regulation wins followed by fewest goals allowed, and then greatest goal differential. Greg Tinty running our camera and engineering and producing the broadcast. My name is Eric Zamora, bringing you the play-by-play call. And Fredenberg struck first. Rocky Mountain took the lead 1-0, 9 minutes and 12 seconds in, thanks to a 5-on-3 power play goal. Liam Heary from Mercury Bischoff got the game knotted up at ones at 12:59. However, Logan Anderson striking late, 14:30 of the 15-minute periods from Schmeichel and Fredenberg, and a glove save by the netminder with a little bit of a backwards windmill there. Normally you see goaltenders, if they're going to accentuate that, going with the shoulder rolling forward. But the goalkeeper now looks over to his left. That's a blocker side for the Southpaw. Sent up to the point and out of the zone. It's fed over by Smith, brought back in by Rocky Mountain. They'll lose an edge in North America, looking to get out of the zone. Chipped through the crease, and it's loose! And the official, no signal yet, will finally blow the whistle dead 31 seconds into the frame. Rocky Mountain pressing right out of the start of the period, and they'll be rewarded for their effort, but not what they were looking for. They'll instead have to settle for an offensive zone faceoff. On the left wing side as Rocky Mountain sees it. And we'll have a late change here. And they were unaware that Darlow was called for cross-checking. Gavin Darlow out of Hayden, Ontario, a Sioux Junior Greyhound. And so this puts Rocky Mountain back on the man advantage, officially 1 for 2 on the power play as they capitalized, won the 5-on-3, but Heary got out of the penalty box unscathed, at least as far as going down on his infraction. Kept in the zone, last man back, and stands up defensively, as otherwise would have been a clean break on the power play. You don't see that too often. Brought in short-handed and mobbed as soon as he got over. I believe that was Pettigrew, and it indeed was. As the St. John's native, the defenseman, now with it, carves wide left, and that's not a bad idea. You're sure you'd love an opportunity here, but the most important thing is killing it. This is taking up lots of clock. They'll cycle it all the way over for Peckham, who will play it deep, and Pettigrew will head off for a change, and they'll get fresh bodies out there. 44 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Rocky Mountain on top, 2-1, and trying to double their lead. Here's Dunlap. Dunlap sees pressure in the face of Hettinga. and decides to retreat. Last quarter of the power play opportunity. Glove save by the goaltender, although I think that shot was off the mark. Doesn't want to find out, and most importantly, doesn't want to have a bad deflection off the body and have that end up who knows where. So they'll settle for freezing the puck and having an offensive zone face-off for the Rocky Mountain squad on the man advantage. Into the corner. Kept there. And tapped around. Now look at it turn up ice with speed as Collins. And thought that he was going to make a breakout pass. Instead elects, let's just get that deep. And it's sent all the way down. And so they're going to bring it back down into the defensive zone on the icing. So we go back to full strength. 12:20 to go in the second period. 2-1. Rocky Mountain had the lead after the initial 15 minutes, and that is where the score still stands, despite the fact that they just had a power play opportunity expire. Looking to come up with a strong forecheck and steal that one away. Rocky Mountain still battling. Couple of stick lefts, and Vera gets tangled up with an opponent. A little bit of a rub out there, and late to the party is Tumensev, who was indicating to the official that he thought there was a little bit of excess contact there. I think the official said, I spotted it, but it wasn't enough to warrant the foul, probably going to just warn the offending North American player. Strong on the puck and coming away with this. In with speed, looking to feed it over, cutting, dangling, and couldn't get the shot through as that was blocked by a skate out front. Couple of bodies end up meeting up as they were trying to turn the corner, snapping a low shot, and that one's loose. Still sitting there in the slot. The netminder wasn't quite sure where it was, head on a swivel, now looking to hug the near side left post as he sees it. Right side for us watching from the shooter's vantage point. A hard pass to the back door, and needed it to be hard to get through that defense, but a little bit too hot to handle as there was a yawning net for a moment, unable to get the shot off. And now Rocky Mountain bringing it ahead is Crawford. Crawford dangles through traffic, fires, and from here it looked like the netminder made a save. I don't think that he was just unable to pull the trigger, although there was traffic out front from my vantage point. 10.5 to go in the period. And nice move behind the goal line, calling for it at the point. They'll get it there. Rocky Mountain stepping up, firing a shot through traffic. And that was Ben Davis's shot, who was blocked by that of somebody's shin guard, and a stick went flying in the process. Starfield getting himself introduced to Davis as the two with a little bit of glove work after the whistle. And so this one is going to go outside of the zone, and I think they might be calling players from each side here. No, this is going to go just against North America. And so it'll be Rocky Mountain going back on the power play as Starfield, the guilty party, and this North American squad is going to need to stop the parade they've got going of players going back. And excuse me, it wasn't the contact there. It was too many men on the ice. And that's a good idea to get Starfield in there just because he was obviously a player that just come off the ice. So regardless of whether he normally would be out there on their penalty kill or not, might as well use somebody that you're probably going to rest for the next 2 minutes anyway. The officials calling for the players to move their feet and keep the play alive. They will eventually, and it's fed over to the right point. Just reaching the circle, a bouncing puck. Took a couple of skips, got to the left pad of the goaltender, and getting low with that one was Nadon. And he'll hold on and sacrifice the face-off in the defensive zone. Halfway through the man advantage, Rocky Mountain feeds it D to D. Couple of lefties they've got, at least as far as how they shoot on the power play, mining the back. Davis, or excuse me, that was Smith, offering one up, blocked out front. North America looks to turn the corner and does, and shorthanded. Now with an opportunity, they'll get it to the red line, splits through a couple of opponents. Bischoff, and hits the side of the post. Now, it makes it sound closer than it was. I don't think unless Bischoff was able to bank that in off the netminder, had a chance, but does kill some valuable time. Now back in their own end and looking to kill this one off. 15 seconds to go. On the man advantage, Rocky Mountain has had a couple opportunities here on the power play. Here in the second, they throw it towards the net. It's blocked out front. 2 seconds away from skating full strength, and now Starfield out of the box. He'll look over to the bench and was hustling his way over, but no need, as he'll have time now. 8:07 the stopped clock, and this will go back down into North American's defensive zone, and they'll gladly surrender the icing here as it gives them an opportunity with the draw coming. We'll look to feed this over. So in alphabetical order, teams in the tournament: Great Lakes and Great Plains, Minnesota, New England, North America, Rocky Mountain, and USA. And as I mentioned earlier, the first game of the tournament. So up next, Great Plains and Great Lakes, USA and Minnesota underway. So, or excuse me, the late game. So New England is the one team that will not have their first game until tomorrow. They'll take on Great Plains starting at 11:45 over on Rink 2. We're here at Rink 1. 2-1 game and a big poke by the goaltender, Nadon, with... We've reached the halfway point of regulation here. They'll try a centering pass through the crease. And again, the twig of the goaltender coming up big. Fed up, not out. Now it'll be brought out in North America. Flipping it ahead. They've got numbers if they hurry, chipping it up towards the goalkeeper, who gloves that one down out of mid-air on the one hop, able to hold on. And we will resume action in the offensive zone for North America. Their next game is tomorrow, taking on New England, right back here at Rink 1 at 5:30 Central Time. Shot on and a glove save as the goalkeeper actually let that one hit off the chest and then just trapped it there with the trapper. As for Rocky Mountain, their next game will be right back here at Rink 1 tomorrow, taking on Minnesota. And speaking of, it's the University of Minnesota men's home ice, Mariucci Arena, that will see 3 games on Thursday. Obviously, a real treat for most teams, all but one in this tournament. We'll get to play where the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers are in action. Those games taking place Thursday morning at 8, 9:45, and 11:30. Centering pass, turning and firing. The goaltender knew he had it, just wasn't quite sure where. I believe that was brought down by the blocker and then held onto by the left leg pad. 5:46 to go in period number 2. Again, we ask you to stay with us as this second intermission will be a much lengthier one than the one we just saw, as it will be an ice resurfacing to give them a clean slate for the third in what's been a good contest so far. They'll look to feed it over to the left side. Right idea, just couldn't come to fruition. Diving over to make the play, lifted up, and it hits on the netting, but on the back side of it. A lot of times you'll see with these nets that those pop right off, as opposed to sometimes you'll play at rinks where got some older cages and netting setups. But this one does stay in the twine from the outside, and because it was played last by Rocky Mountain, the offensive team, the draw comes outside the defensive zone. North America looking to turn up ice. They're kind of been caught down in their own defensive end for a while. Part of that has been a strong forecheck and good cycling by Rocky Mountain. Part of it has been the fact that this North American team has had some discipline problems, as they've already been called for 4 penalties in the contest. D-to-D pass that keeps it, got it just to the red line, no further. They'll switch spots as the defenseman pinches in from the left side, and strong on the puck. We've got a board battle as Rocky Mountain sends a couple. Now North America coming up with a 2-on-1 from the right side. Sent over, and a nice job there. Last man back, making sure that pass didn't get through. Otherwise, it was Elliott in all alone with plenty of time and space. Coming back is Bischoff. Bischoff first on the forehand, then missing on the attempt of the backhand. But the important thing there was just getting a piece of it and actually just going over it, and that was enough to throw off the opposition. Elliott will have to peel back. Now into the zone. Rocky Mountain fires, rebound, and it's banged home. The first shot wouldn't go, the second one does. 11 minutes and 1 second elapsed here in period number 2. And for the first time in the contest, Rocky Mountain with a 2-goal lead. They're on top, 3-1. Nice job there, cutting hard to the net. Right pad save by the goaltender, but it left a rebound, and it was juicy. Slammed home by the southpaw, and it's Rocky Mountain enjoying a 2-goal lead, and they look thirsty for more. Cutting through the slot. Nice job getting back and breaking that up was Collins. The defenseman seems to be strong at both ends of the ice, as we've seen him get involved in the offense too, but showing value in their own end. And they'll look to move it around. Well, Ganser with his second point of the contest after the goal, a collision there. The official, I like the job there by the official. Uses the hand signal, acknowledging, hey, I saw the collision, but I'm not going to call that either way. Both players just trying to make a play. Nobody did anything wrong. It was a collision, but neither team gained advantage out of it. Neither, it was more accidental than anything else. And Johnny Crawford picks up the lone assist on Ganser's goal. Here's Schmeichel, spun around on the play. North America, Starfield across with Vera. Vera, though, looks like he's in need of a change and will head off. Starfield does a nice job there despite basically a wholesale change other than himself. Was able to buy some time and get fresh personnel onto the ice for the gray and orange. They'll elevate it up through neutral zone. Settling down, we've got 2 minutes left to go in the period. Peeling around is Collins. Collins trying to get it ahead for Canes. Unable to, reaching it, it's lifted up and a bouncing puck and unable to get there in time. There was a pursuing Rocky Mountain player. Combination of a nice timely stick lift and the goaltender tracking it and covering it. Keeps the score at 3-1. Minute 48 to go. Period number 2, and Rocky Mountain will elect to move everybody inside there on the offensive zone draw. Elliott with it from a tough angle. Now we'll look, thought he was going to circle the wagon and does continue to go all the way around. They'll feed this back to the right point. Little game of pitch and catch, and they'll elect to go right back up top. Collins again moves it deep. This time they'll get another player involved. Cycled up, and here he has to spin around. Looked like wanted to get it back for Bischoff. Collins. Good positioning, but not able to get there in time. Rocky Mountain can't get that shot through. That's broken up by a shin guard. And we're in the last minute of the second period. Slaloming through was North America's West. West unable to keep possession, though. Comes out of the zone. I was about to say brought back in, but my eyes deceived me as immediately was brought to the blue line and then sent right back out. A shot doesn't get through. Bounces off of the chest of the left defenseman. They'll break this out. Here's Vera. Vera coming across the line. Loses the zone in the process, feeds it over to the right side. Nice job stepping up, getting it ahead, spinning, waiting, dangling, getting the sneaky low shot that does not leave the ice surface. 10 seconds to go in the frame. Rocky Mountain, wraparound attempt, won't go, and that one was sent out front, and the netminder comes up with a huge stop with 4 seconds to go. If North America comes back and gets any points out of this contest, remember that save, as that would have been a backbreaker to go into the locker room. Instead, we'll have a draw to the goalie's left. That shot misses the mark, and that is how our second period will come to an end. Just one goal in the second. Carter Ganser from Johnny Crawford at 11:01 of the period. And it is Rocky Mountain on top by a score of 3-1. We'll be back with the conclusion. It's Rocky Mountain 3, North America 1. You're watching the 2018 show on Youth Hockey Hub. And we are underway with the third period. Rocky Mountain leads by a score of 3-1. North America in those gray jerseys with bright orange numerals and black trim, going from left to right and trying to start things off strong here in period number 3 as they find themselves down by a couple. It's Fredenberg, Anderson, and Ganser, the goal scorers for Rocky Mountain. North America's lone goal coming off the stick of Liam Heary. The power play tally back in period number 1. Rocky Mountain across the line. Nice job to get it there, but then unable to capitalize as that was brought in with a full head of steam. North America now looking to turn up and head back the other way. Greg Tinty, our camera operator and producer of this broadcast on Youth Hockey Hub. My name is Eric Zamora, bringing you play-by-play action of the 2018 North American Hockey Showcase, also just known as The Show. Cutting in, firing, and a rebound left off the left pad of the netminder, but it was Boniger out of Arvada, Colorado, making the save on the initial shot, and then helped out by the Cavalry as they're able to get a big clearance and now bring it back into the offensive zone. I have a feeling that while Rocky Mountain has the 2-goal lead, I don't think they're going to try to sit on that. Thrown through the crease. And just as I say that, they are, in fact, pressing to try to build more of a lead. And it gets tied up behind the goal line. Again, goal differential could end up being a factor in the seed in all 7 of these teams, as this one's thrown out front and pounded home. And it's Rocky Mountain picking up where they left off. They're on top by a score of 4-1. And if I'm not mistaken, this goal will go down as the first of the tournament for Dmitry Timentsev. We'll have to find out here in just a moment if my eyes saw that live correctly. But the goal, regardless of who it comes off of, is 2:11 into the period. And Rocky Mountain, wraparound attempt, big stop by the goaltender. And it is indeed Dimitri's goal. And we'll credit the lone assist to Thomas Putnam. North America looking to break out. Coming up the right wing side, it's held in. Shot blocked, as that was Bischoff who got it out of the defensive zone. Now in their own defensive end, Rocky Mountain tries the long pass. That's picked off by Collins, who had his pass in turn picked off by Rocky Mountain's Anderson, who had the second of the 4 Rocky Mountain goals. They'll wait at the line, and a big drive by Anderson, stopped by the goaltender. The rebound comes loose, but behind the goal line. Fighting off of some pressure, North America's Heary stepping up, and they'll pester the would-be shooter. This will play around for Orthner, and Jude Orthner gets involved. They'll make a D-to-D pass and look to send it back. Orthner now looking to help out as they're needing a clearance. North America not quite there yet. Schmeichel does a fantastic job of jumping into the play, tying up the opposition. And this is around for Orthner, who will chip it up. A Saskatchewan native out of Southie, and thrown over to the back door. And sometimes difficult to change the velocity of that enough, as it ends up often, if it's being passed from one side to the other, whatever direction the pass is coming from, often you'll see the shot miss to the side it was already traveling, and that was indeed the case there. Elevating a shot, and I believe the goalkeeper, Bonninger, got a piece of it with his glove. Sent up to the line, and this is offside as it was offered in by Peckham, who is an Edina Hornet out of nearby Edina, Minnesota. Barron will take the draw just outside of their own defensive blue line. Putnam squaring up with him at the dot, and they'll come away with it. Fed over, and that gets through the skates. Unable to connect there was McDonald. Poked away and fed up and out. Now with speed, Starfield tries to slip around his man, gets by one, not the other, but does draw some contact. So 9 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the third period. Perhaps an opportunity for North America to get something going on the man advantage, as they're 1 for 1 on the power play. Interference will be the call. And we go on the power play. Not only has North America scored on the only power play they've had, but it took just 6 seconds. Played up, Heary has that one poked away, and Bischoff comes back, cuts off the would-be shorthanded assailant, dancing with it at the line, and they'll have to wait. As now they touch up, so it's brought in by Mason West. Bodied up along the boards, but not enough to draw a foul. Sent up to the point, here's Collins. Collins cycles it deep with Bischoff. A lot of the big guns out there for North America, and why not? Down by 3, but with the man advantage, here's an opportunity to try to get back into this contest. West tries to send it out front, second effort. And again, it rolls over for Rocky Mountain. Collins will keep it alive from the right circle. A little give and go. West turns and hands off for Bischoff. Bischoff gets it back to West, who feeds it along for Collins. No, keeps it himself. Heary with pressure, and nice job by the Rocky Mountain squad on this penalty kill. Obviously, we haven't seen much out of this unit, as this is only the second time that they've had to get out on the ice, and the first one didn't last long. Sent up and out of the crease pretty quickly. West keeps it in, and now it'll be Collins heading off for a change, as this power play unit's been out there the entire time. 20 seconds away from a full 2 minutes. Back for Heary. Heary launches one through a lot of traffic, and like the fact that he took his time there, didn't get a ton of velocity on that, but got the right angle and a little bit of loft there, and was able to use an 8-iron to kind of chip it through. But back at full strength is Team Rocky Mountain. They'll head off for a change, as that was Carter Murphy looking to get back and get the lines and pairings back on board to even strength play. Sent up to the left side. Dunlap retreats, makes a nice play, gets it out of the zone. Touch up offsides in effect for this tournament, and they're good to go. Center out. Up from the right wing side, breakout pass, spun around on the play was Pettigrew, a drive. The netminder came up with a stop, and we had two Piranhas who were right there waiting, hoping they could get to that loose puck in time. Instead, covered by the goaltender, who holds on with 6:42 left to go in regulation. Again, as I mentioned, up next, we'll have the Great Lakes taking on the Great Plains. 7 o'clock Central Time puck drop. And at 8:45, it's USA versus Minnesota. All those games broadcast right here, along with every game of the tournament on Youth Hockey Hub. Looking to pull the trigger there, but turned out the chamber was empty as the shot coming without that vulcanized rubber. Now with another opportunity. This time, it was a timely stick lift. That was the culprit, fed up to the point. Again, we see the two left shot defensemen out there together on the pairing, slamming on the brakes, breaking it out of the zone, but they'll end up giving up possession for position as they got it to neutral ice. No further as Rocky Mountain brought it right back in. It's North America looking to break out and lost something in the process. Hedinga spun around on the play, and icing will be the call with 5:34 left in regulation. I was going to say the game, but obviously we do still have the opportunity for extra time, but it's going to require a good offensive finish here by North America. And getting boarded there just ever so slightly was Heary. They'll look to cycle it deep. Fed up and nearly getting it to the crease. To the red line. Waiting at the line was West to make sure that play stayed onside. That gets just out to neutral ice. North America dumps it right back in. That was Orthner, a Southie Marlin during the hockey season, although as we all know, it's always hockey season, 365 days a year here in the state of hockey. That one goes through the crease and out just as quickly. Slide that over, turning with a quick one-touch was Fredenberg. Fredenberg with a big game, a goal and an assist. Can say the same thing for Ganser, although Ganser doing it with the apple first before the goal. Throwing it towards the net, and the netminder, well, plan A was to steer that into the corner with the stick. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Fortunately for him, he had a plan B in place as he had the right pad behind him just in case. So we'll take a face-off here with 3:35 to go in the third. 4-1. Rocky Mountain on top comfortably. North America needing a spark here late. There's a blocked shot and another loose in the slot. Loose no more. Faking the shot was Anderson. Then flutters it into the opposite corner in the offensive zone. North America looking to break out, and quite honestly, this offensive zone pressure and forechecking by Rocky Mountain has been smothering all game long, and particularly in the second and third periods. Sent over, snapping a shot, and it's in. No chance for the netminder, who went all the way over to his right side to try to take away any opportunity that left him vulnerable up over the glove. And with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the contest, that might be the backbreaker, as Rocky Mountain now on top by a score of 5-1. 12:09 time of the goal, and the green squad rolling as Bischoff on the draw. It'll be played to the blue line and chipped from there. 2-on-1 developing for Rocky Mountain. They go right back in, and the goaltender got a piece of it, but not enough. The goals come just 11 seconds apart from one another, and Rocky Mountain on top by 5 at 6-1. Rocky Mountain says, why stop there? They'll cycle it out into the slot. Schmeichel tries to get a piece of it. Feeds it ahead, and now North America. On the breakout, here's Bischoff. .208 to go in period number 3. And getting tangled up there was Heary. Schmeichel doing the dirty work. Pulls that out, immediately met by Bischoff. Stays with it, looks to cut it over. They'll look to cycle it up. And so that second goal at the 12-minute and 20-second mark for Rocky Mountain was Sawyer Grobbins, right off of the draw, as it was Schmeichel and Simpson in on the assists. North America looking to get it up for West, and West cut in immediately. We are down to less than a minute left to go in the period. They'll look to break out, and feeds it up to the right side. Across the line and clean is Drew Canes. Canes, a Paradise Warrior during the winter season, out of Paradise, Newfoundland. Winding, loose puck, and it's tapped home. The netminder made the stop, and quite honestly, that's an area where you'd like to see some communication from the skaters around, as it was within his reach, but just could not locate it. Was looking inside the pads, and instead it was wide. Tiamentsev comes up with the play, and it's Davis coming up with the goal. 7-1, your final. We'll call that goal 1440. So we had 3 in period number 3. It was Ganser, Grobbins, and then Davis to make it a 7-1 final. Well, we'll take a look at these two teams going forward. Again, all the games being broadcast here on Youth Hockey Hub, as North America will take on New England next. That'll be at 5:30 Central Time tomorrow. Rocky Mountain, with the victory, advances to take on Minnesota tomorrow. That'll be with a 2 o'clock Central Time puck drop. And we will have for you in just a matter of moments the player of the game interview as we do after every broadcast. And so a lot of skaters that you could nominate here for this Rocky Mountain squad. And let's not take away what Harry Bottiger did as well. But we'll send it down ice side to Tony Scott, as he has now got actually all of the team coming out to witness. But we'll send it over to Tony for the interview, as he is ice side with Carter Ganser. Tony, take it away.
We're with Carter Ganser from Rosemount, Minnesota. Carter, congratulations on your first big win.
Thank you.
All right, Carter, you had 2 goals today and an assist. You're our player of the game in the game today. Talk a little bit about one of your goals you had today.
Yeah, so Trey, my partner, he was shooting it down low on the net, and I was there for the rebound to pound it in.
All right, what are the Rocky Mountain boys going to have to do the rest of the way here in the show to win it all?
We're going to have to keep working on our positioning and just where to know on the D zone, and just keep working hard and moving the puck.
Carter, congratulations on being player of the game.
Thank you, Tony.